Hello, geography students. This is your instructor, Dan, and as promised, I am going to do a little demo of how to create the two maps that you're required to submit to me after your our field trip. So the first one is just a general context map that sort of shows us the general terrain of South Africa and the major sites that we visit. The second one being a specific one that is for the Dinokeng site with some GPS coordinates. So I'm going to show you this in Google Maps. Pretty easy to use, and you will need a Google account to do this. You can see that I'm logged in as my own account right now, and most of you are probably familiar with this. You can look places up. So if you're wondering where Sodwana Bay is located, you can see, I'm going to focus it on the national park. Okay, so I just zoomed into this area. There you can see where it's located. And so, you can find your way, search your way around. But what we're interested in doing is actually creating a map. And the way that we're going to do this is we are going to use the part of Google Maps. Again, if you have an account, you can create your own custom maps. And once I've done this, I can go to what's called Your Places. And then once you go to Your Places, you can go to Maps. And you can see I've already been playing around with this. But I'm going to create a map from scratch. And it's probably going to zoom me back to the United States. You can see that they have you just default this to an untitled map. So okay, sometimes I'll just copy the title into the description. Keep things simple. And of course, we're going to want to go to South Africa. So we can search in this window to locate South Africa. There it is. And you'll notice that it drops a little temporary point here. And I don't necessarily want that guy in there, so I can just get rid of that. And then you can see there's an untitled layer option. Okay, and within the you see the little ellipsis that gives you opportunities to gives you different options that you have the ability to work from. Okay, so let's go ahead and rename this guy. I'm just going to call this the overview map. Okay, and it'll include our two sites. And now that we're working within this overview map, we can choose to add markers. We can draw lines. We can add directions, take measurements. We don't really need that. We're just going to add a couple of markers in here. Okay, and so the first marker, and again, you can, just place this on the map. You can come up here and use your search window again. Okay, so we did our search window here, and now this did a search. Now you can see this threw me back into the marker, so I can create my marker from here. You spell Sodwana. You should know that. Sodwana Bay and marine site. Okay, and you have some options here for editing. You can add images as well. Okay, and I'll talk more about that in a second. But so we'll go ahead and save those changes. You can edit the title. You can edit the style. You can find more options. We'll grab the swimmer down here. That looks pretty good. Okay, and so once we've done that, this is now in our overview map. Okay, and so I'm going to go ahead. You can see it actually lets you add from the search window, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to X that guy out of here. Now, this guy right now is not presently labeled. So if we go to individual styles, you can choose to add a label. In this case, I'm going to add the name, and there's our marine site. And I think if we go into individual styles, we might be able to play around with the font and put bold and all that kind of good stuff on there. But that's the basic idea. And then you're going to add another one for the Dinokeng site. And once you get a view that you like, and you can use your own judgment, you should include the 2 major sites that we visit. If you choose to, you can grab the entire country, and I'm going to go ahead and use what's called the snipping tool. And the way this works is that you just drag and select the area that you're interested in, and you can just go to your start menu and type in snip, and it'll come right up for you. Okay, and you'll grab this thing, and what it does is copies it to your clipboard, and then you can do something like insert a new slide. Here's the map I just snipped. There's our Sodwana Bay marker, and then you add your title in here. Okay, and so you finish the first of your 2 maps. I'm going to make sure that my recorder. Hi folks, I'm back again. It looks like my recorder paused. I'm not sure how much of the content I missed. What I was showing was just how once you have added the labels into your map, excuse me, I've opened up a bunch of things here, but this was the map we were working from, and I had shown the snipping tool, which you'll have if you're on a Windows computer, and you can just simply drag a box around what you want. That'll create a copy of it, and then you create a new slide in PowerPoint, and that's your map. Okay? All right, so that's the overview map. So I guess we call this overview. Next, we're going to show you how to use the GPS coordinates. I'm going to go and make... Sorry, folks, something in my process here is causing the recorder to pause. I think it might be when I copy and paste over to PowerPoint. Anyway, the PowerPoint slide is copied over, so you've created a PowerPoint map. And now we're going to do the second one. And the second one is going to be more detailed. Okay, and so I just know, because I've been browsing the maps a lot, the general location of the Dynaking Game Reserve, which we're going to be going to. And we're going to collect GPS positions when we're out in the field. And so we want to actually mark those locations. And the way that you do this, if you notice in Windows, or in Google Maps rather, that you can check my recording here quickly. So when you're in Google Maps, you have the ability to be able to add layers. And when you add a layer, it gives you an import option. And this import option, okay, so we can go ahead and rename this guy and Dynaking Field Sites. Okay, and so once you've done this, you can import. And once you do that, there's a few options up here, including bringing photos in. And interestingly, if you bring in a photo, it'll bring the coordinates with it. So your phones are tagging the latitude, longitude of the location that photos are being taken if you have your location setting on. But we're going to just pull these coordinate values, and we're going to do that from an Excel file. So here's an Excel file, and this is a format that you'll want to use. So in the first column heading, I have lat, in the second one long, and in the third one place name. And I have a latitude value. The negative sign in this case means south latitude, 25.38 degrees. And since it's east longitude, the value is positive, so 28.309 east longitude. And this is the name of, we'll call this Dynaking 1. Okay, so once I've done that, I'll save this, and this gives you the option to just drag and drop. So there's the latitude longitude file that I created, and I'm just going to simply upload that guy. And there's our place name. So I've selected the fields. It needs to recognize latitude, longitude, and place name. And so this, choose the column to title your marker. So we're going to use the place name And let me go back a second. I'm still kind of playing around with this. So this says select the columns from your file that tells us where to put the place marks. So I don't want the place name for that. Okay, I want the place name for the column that will title the place marks. Okay, so we'll say finish, and it's crunching away, and it's crunching away, and now we have something hopefully called Dynaking 1. And there it is. And again, you know, we can edit this guy, what have you. And let's back out a little bit. And I think now we're going to want to go back into this individual styles and add the label for the place name. Okay, there's our Dynaking 1 site. Of course, we can do all kinds of editing and so forth. Now, your second map is going to be zoomed in much more. Okay, so there's going to be, and I would love to see folks with 10 or 15 points, but I just ask you to do a few. So you'll name these as specifically as possible, and then you will simply repeat the process of going and dragging, creating a map. I don't like that this dropped over my name, but for the purposes of what we've got, again, this copies it, and then you just paste it into PowerPoint or whatever it is that you're trying to do. All right, let me show you what happens when you bring in a photo. And let's see, I'm going to say import, and I'm going to go to photo albums. And it looks like it's using the photo albums that I have actually pushed out to my Google phone book, or my Google photo album. So these are actually a few years old. It's from a trip I did to Hawaii a couple of years back. And so that looks like a good one. This is a nice spot. My kids love jumping off the rocks here. So let's grab that one. I'll select it. Okay, and it's going to zoom me to the location, I think. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. So there's my imported photos. And this is Hawaii. And let's see, did it import the photos? Should be able to go to that. Should go to this location. Well, there it is. And there's the location. And the photo doesn't look like it appeared there. So this is not really how I intended for you guys to do it from the photos. I just realized when I was going through this. So there's something going on that it's not liking. I'm going to check my Google Earth as well. There we go. There's photos 2016. Oh, see a photo in there that it liked. Go back to Google Drive again. I don't know if I've got any stuff from my Borneo project work or not. Most of these don't have photos in them, evidently. Alright, so it doesn't like that. Again, I think if you post your photos out there, let's try another photo area called Gray Rocks. That's a good one right there. Select it. Okay, so imported photos, I think is where to put that one. Yeah, it's interesting that it's not, it doesn't seem as though it's actually locating where these are found. Just for kicks, just so that you're aware of this, since I mentioned it before, and you know, again, I like to encourage you to learn to use a multitude of different tools. These are variations, by the way, on Geographic Information System. I mean, GIS is just a more robust, more capable kind of tool, but you know, a lot of similar things, especially when you're working with location, which is printed in the form of latitude, longitude values. So let's just, you know, I just got back from this family trip. Here we go. There's a good one. So this is Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go ahead and open this guy up. You can see what the picture looks like. Now, take a look at this. If I look at the properties and I go into details about the properties and I scroll down the list, look what it gives me. It gives me the latitude and longitude of the location. This is 40 degrees, north latitude, 27 minutes, one, and I can just go ahead and create those the way I did before. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm running out of time.